everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk No Gimmicks with Haley, Demi, and Erin. We're so happy you guys are here with us. Today's going to be an interesting episode, as always. I know I say that all the time, but this one really is. But wherever you guys are listening, thank you so much. We appreciate every single person who does take the time to listen, because I know our lives get pretty busy. So no matter where you guys are listening from or what time you're listening from, we do thank you. So strap in. It's going to be a fun episode. Get comfortable. So, Demi, go ahead and introduce our topic for today.
Yes, so today's topic is about not moving too quick. It's having balance and being happy in the present. So, yeah.
I feel like this topic can go in so many different directions. I think we should start talking about being content, because I think no matter what direction we take this episode, it's going to all circle back to contentment. So in your life, what was maybe an experience that you guys have had that has brought you to understand contentment and having to apply it?
Should I start? I mean, the first thing that comes to my head is college itself. I remember, this is going to be like kind of random, but like college applications. I remember, it was the three of us, this is during COVID times, like FaceTiming every single day, just like absolutely ranting about how much work we had and how hard we were working. Because, we've had dreams since we were little about the schools we're going to go to, what we're going to accomplish at those schools, all that stuff. And it seemed like this was just such a big transition point where we're like, our futures are literally like in front of us, right? And, we applied, we got our results back, and it wasn't what it wasn't what we wanted. Not even close. Not even close. So I definitely, I was upset about it. We were all upset about it. Actually, like drowning in tears, like upset, because we had all these plans that felt like our dreams, like just dashed, like they were gone. But then, we got out of the pandemic. Our podcast had gone, and I had realized, like, wow, like I really am content. Like, no matter where I am, I love my life. I have my family with me. I have two amazing, like, best friends that, like,
Don't make me cry.
Girl, stop. We're not gonna do that on this podcast. But,
literally booing.
Yeah. No, but yeah, really, looking at it from a different perspective, I realized that, even it was just a bump in the road. I have my whole life ahead of me. Schools isn't all that, and our podcast has launched. We've had a lot of, ups, from that point. So it's been great. I've been content.
Yeah, and even after, being rejected, I guess just being in our first year, I know me personally, there were moments where I felt prudent, or I was just focused on, getting the right. Jesus, I cannot think. I'm trying to think of a good word. But I guess I was just so focused on my future, being a diplomat, traveling all over the world, and getting good jobs, getting good scholarships while I'm in my first year of college. And it came to a point I get too frantic, I get anxious. And I know I talked about this beforehand in previous episodes, but I just want to reiterate how, again, I wasn't taking care of myself mentally, emotionally, and because of those two factors, I was just falling apart. I lost my balance, and I was just, again, all over the place. But I look back now with you, Erin, and you, Haley, with our podcast, with my family, with my friends, and community, and communities, plural, because I have a lot of them. I just find myself in a very happy and humbling position. So yeah, right now I feel pretty great, I'm happy, and I'm excited for what the future holds. And I'm not too prudent anymore, so yeah.
Good. I love both of your answers.
Thank you.
I guess if to share, I know you both talked about school, and I can totally relate to both of what you said about high school and like that transition from high school to college, and as well as just being in college and having a new set of pressures of living on your own, or even if you're not in a dorm or living off campus, even if it's at home, it's a new level of responsibilities, more things that you're thinking about, student loans, scholarships, in addition to the load of schoolwork. And I think for me, I've learned contentment with just like life in general. I was always one of those people that like had a roadmap of what I thought life would look like. We've talked a lot about our roadmap of like our expectations about high school, our expectations about college, so I won't sit and reiterate that. So like that's shameless plug to go like listen. But I've always had like a roadmap of what age I thought, you know, I would be doing this or doing that, or we talked about like looking at other people's lives and feeling like I was missing out. And so I had to learn to be content with his plan and not my own. Because it's so easy to be distracted on what you anticipate life to be like, and I've learned that 99.9% of everything that I thought, like every plan that I thought would happen and how I thought it would unfold has definitely not happened the way that I mean, maybe the overall, like the general idea was the same, but the way it happened, or even if I got it, like the path that it took to get there was different. And I want to kind of talk about balance, because I think both of you talked about how like feeling overwhelmed with the pressures of school or pressures of life and missing the opportunity to take care of yourself. What are ways that people can find balance, or how have you found balance?
I am so happy you asked that question. I guess one answer is saying no to people and opportunities that might derive you from God's plan for you. Because how about this? Okay, here's a story. So, as I mentioned before, I was so caught up with working, interning, and just being farther in my future plans about being a diplomat. So there was this one internship that accepted me because I applied to so many internships, but I didn't have to, because I should have focused more on having a better social life, a better academic life. But because I was so eager to work, I just applied to their internship. And I was thinking, okay, this will be my break. But it wasn't my break. It was the opposite. I was working countless hours for no reason at all. And I should have said no, because since I accepted this, again, it just blocked me from opportunities that would have made me a better student, a better sister, and a better friend. So again, just saying no to opportunities and even people in your life that could potentially bring you down. So
that was really good. I can totally relate about, like, yes and no. I've shared with them, like, not that long ago. I guess I'll just share now, because why not? I want to say a little less than a month ago, or about a month ago, I was having, like, my own, like, personal, like, devotions. I'm not very good at, I'll be honest, like I forget sometimes, or like get distracted with life, and I'm still working on balance. Like we're talking about it and we're talking about being contentment, but at least for me personally, it's something that I'm growing in like all the time. Like I'm good reading my word, and like, you know, at some point, and then I fall off for, it could be a long period of time, and it's not something that I'm necessarily proud of, but it's growth. Like Christianity isn't like perfection, it's progression. But anyway.
I love that,
Thank you. But about a month ago, I was heavily convicted, like, about the very thing Demi was talking about yes and no's. Because I came to a point where, I don't know, Erin, maybe, and you too, maybe Demi, but I know as soon as you get into college, as like any kind of STEM major, you're like the first day they're bogging you down about like, you need to be doing these classes, you need to have this GPA, you need to have these internships, you need to volunteer, you need to join this club, you need to research. It's like a whole, like you don't even get to move your stuff in all the way. They're already telling you what you need to do and how you're already behind. Like you're not even done with the first semester.
Right.
And they're already telling you, you're 65,000 credits, you know, like, and it becomes a lot if you become consumed. And so towards the end of my first year of college, I started saying yes to a lot of things. I started, like Demi, applying for internships, started doing research, wanting to be more involved at church, wanting to socialize with my friends more. And it came to a point that I just said yes to anything. Any opportunity that came in that sounded like a good idea or would elevate me to the next level, I would just say yes to. and the Holy Spirit literally was like, Haley, you've run out of yes. Like, you cannot say yes to like one more thing. And in the midst of that, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, everything I've said yes to have been good things. Like, you know, working, volunteering, like, that's all great things. But I've learned that every yes is an automatic no to something else. And you pointed that out, that you started the internship, and it seemed like the great thing. You had been working towards it for probably months, weeks. And when you got the opportunity, yes, it was great because it was kind of what you were looking for, but it was an automatic no, a new responsibility that prevented you from getting to where maybe another internship opportunity or whatnot. Right. So I guess I'll just say that if you felt like you're in that boat, I'm halfway in the boat and out the boat. Like, I'm doing much better, but balance is, like I said, it's progress and it comes over time. So if you feel like you're saying yes, maybe just take a step back, do some self-evaluation, ask yourself maybe why you're saying yes. Is it like an urge to meet this quota? Because I realized that, of course, I need to do my part to be a good steward over like my school life and, you know, taking care of my responsibilities. But ultimately, the plan God has for me is His plan, and He's going to allow it to work out in due time. So all I have to do is just strap in and enjoy the ride. I don't have to do all the extras.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was
everything that was on my mind. Dang. No, but I literally every single point, like you said, I've taken with me, because as you guys know, like for the past five weeks of my life have been like hectic. I'm a STEM major, just like Haley is, and it's this whole like trying to cram everything to do what I have to do to move on, you know. And I really resonated with that, because it made me think like, dang, like I really need to sit down and like evaluate, because when I tell you, I felt like for a while I was doing good with the balance thing, and then like I did this and it just threw me off, you know. And I really like how you pointed out that, you know, it's progress, you know, you can fail sometimes and get better eventually. But I realized that I wasn't lately have been focusing on like anything else, you know. I'll do my Bible stuff because I know I have to do that every day, and I make sure I find time for things like that. But as far as like family and social life and taking care of myself, it just like out the door, literally out the door. And it just made me realize like as humans, we just need to be easy on ourselves, you know. Especially at our age when people are still figuring themselves out, you know, figuring out what they want to do. Like, there's no need to, like you said, like try to follow this plan you've tried to make yourself, because if it's not the right plan, I don't want to say God's gonna make sure you fail, but like God's gonna tell you like, this is not what you're supposed to do. Like, He's like that message you got, He's gonna make sure He gets the message across, right? You know. And I feel like I've been convicted too, and I've been like kind of feeling that message of like, you know, you need to stop doing what you're doing right now and focus on everything else in your life, you know. More family time, more, I keep saying social time, but like that is a very important thing, especially as a young person, like for anybody, you know, being able to do the podcast even. I feel like this itself is a stress reliever. Like being able to talk, it's just like so important. So I really love how you pointed that out. It's just important to be easy on yourself and to just take life for what it is, because it's crazy to me how much time has passed by and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in our second year of college, and I swear we just graduated. All of this focus and all of this stress, it's like I'm focusing on that, but time is just flying behind me, and I don't even realize it. And like I go downstairs and I see my parents, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a family. I'm like, oh yeah, I have 2 dogs. Dang, good seeing you. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So I think as it's easier said than done. Like, believe me, like we all 3 of us are working on it. It is a definite work in progress, but I mean, just enjoy the ride. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride and keep going. And I love your point, Erin, how you said like you felt like you did something and then everything just went out the window.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is you kept going.
Yeah.
And that's really imperative. Like, discipline yourself and be consistent in what you do. And yes, here and there'll be some fluctuations, but as long as you keep going, you'll reach your goal. You'll reach your destiny, you know? And it's not even about the destiny. It's not even on what's on the other side. It's the climb, okay? It's the journey. It's the climb. But no, like, it's all about the journey, and like that's where true growth, progression sprouts. So yeah. So we talked a lot about how to find balance And we talked a little bit about how to be happy, but what other ways can we be happy in the present?
Well, for me in college, I started taking more walks. Like we have, it's called the Bluff, and it's a walk where you can see like an overlook of the ocean. And for me, like at night, it's so therapeutic that like you can't hear the waves crashing like if you were standing on the beach, but like just the view of it and just going outside sometimes and getting some fresh air, like it just takes a load off. Just standing outside and seeing, like, I'm not saying that our circumstances don't affect us, because they do, but like in a grander scheme of things, like the God that controls the ocean, like that's the part that always gets me. Like the water stops at a certain point, like it doesn't just overtake everything around it. And I look at all the just buildings, and sometimes you'll see people jogging down the street, or people going from class to class, and it just puts life into perspective. Like, this is a big world, and I'm just a small, like a puzzle piece in his master plan. And that in itself just gets me like giddy. It gives me like a boost of motivation, a push to move forward. So just, I would say, get out. Like, it doesn't always have to be a social event. Like, I love seeing my friends. I love spending time with my family, playing with the dog, like all those great things. But sometimes if you can't get, to a social function, or you don't have time for a movie night, just step outside. It could be at your porch. It could be around the corner. Just, I think, fresh air and taking that breath.
Yeah, there's definitely something about that, because even like if I'm cooped up inside all day, if I go out for a run or go out for a walk or something, it's like immediate like stress reliever. Like just breathing that fresh air and being like, dang, like this, like you said, this is the world around me. And it kind of makes you feel like your problems have become a little smaller, because like you said, in the grand scheme of things, God controls absolutely everything. The people around you, the nature around you, you being able to walk and run, like it's crazy, And when you think about it that way, you're like I can get through whatever it is I'm getting through, that I'm going through. So I really like how you pointed that out, because it's really like underrated, I think, because you're like, how does work and like going out for a walk like kind of relate? But oh my gosh, when you can clear your head and like it feels great. I love that, because that's how I relieve my stress.
Yeah. And I guess one thing for me, a way for me to be happy in the present, is just being grateful even with the little things. The other day, I was dancing in my living room for no reason, but after I stopped, I just looked at my feet and I realized, dang, I actually have feet. Like, there are people that don't have feet. There are people that don't have fingers, So just finding a way to be grateful for the little things. It could be you going to get coffee. Some people can't afford to get coffee, So, again, just being grateful with little things is how I just become happy even in the present. And also walking outside, like I sit outside, sitting on the grass, just writing and whatever. And again, it's very therapeutic for me, because I get my points across, and then I can actually breathe and be grateful again that, hey, God is here, He's in the midst, and there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about the future. Our lives are in His hands, okay?
Yes.
So if God could take care of a flower, how can He not take care of you? So, yeah, I guess that's all. So you heard it, folks. Don't forget to just find an outlet to be happy. Don't forget to be grateful. Don't forget to just take it easy on yourself. Don't forget to be happy, to be full of balance, and don't forget to stay real. See you guys. Bye.